welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Croft and I am a realtor here in Fountain Valley, California, and I'm doing a neighborhood drive-through of the Fulton neighborhood. The Fulton neighborhood is known this because of Fulton Elementary School as well as Fulton Park. So that's why we call it that. And we're going to be talking about the houses that have sold within the last year. We do have one active house on the market currently, and then just the general statistics and information about these houses. So this year, in the last year, the median house price was $1,174,500, and the average days on market was 8 days. The median days on market was 8 days. The average was 11. So I'm not sure why that difference is, but that's what it is for this neighborhood. And we have a number of cul-de-sacs in this neighborhood, which is very nice. The median income for this neighborhood is $94,000. So you have some people that have been here for many years and other people that have recently moved, so you got a good mixture of incomes. Most of the houses are well taken care of. We do have some original owners, and the houses are not as nice, but there's nothing that's like a super eyesore in this neighborhood. Just some, general basic maintenance that could be done, or paint, or something simple like that. So here we have the Fulton Elementary School. During the morning and the early afternoon, you get pickup times, and they do have solar. A number of houses in the neighborhood also do have solar panels, so utilizing that free energy resource that's the sun. Of course, you have to pay for the solar panels, but once you do, then everything's good after that. So we do have a number of people that have or are putting money into their houses. This house here that I'm going to stop at is expanding their house to the second story. They had a second story before, but they're just expanding out the first story a little bit and then adding a second story over that section of the house. So it's a pretty major remodel project that they have going on. And then coming up here on the left, we have the Fulton Park. I don't know if you can see it through the screen, but so on the right and then to the left, you have the green belt where the major electrical power lines are, and lots of people come and walk their dogs and run and walk the green belt. And so being this close to that green belt is something that's very nice. Now, coming up on the right hand side here, we have a house that sold last year, and this house sold last year in October. And that's this house right here with the white car in the driveway. It was pretty upgraded. They sold it in October, and just this April they listed it for lease at $3,900, and they closed that, so they must have gotten a tenant in there. This blue house here with the solar panels on the right, they recently put a pool in. And then this brown house, or beige or whatever you want to call it, right here, they recently put in an ADU. So an ADU stands for accessory dwelling unit, and they put that in to help with the housing crisis in California, so I'm sure to make some extra money and increase the value of their house. Their ADU is 2 stories. Then we have this white house here. This house is listed as pending, so I'm not sure what the status is, why it's pending and not active, but it's listed at $1,288,000. They did really do a lot of work on this house. The original owner sold it, and they purchased it and have remodeled it, floor to ceiling. They took out a wall, and it looks really nice. So like I said, there's a lot of people that are putting money into the houses. One of the neighbors on this block, they also remodeled their house, and then they kind of remodeled part of it, one way and part of it another way, and they do Airbnb out a couple of rooms. So you have that in the neighborhood as well. So you have this house straight ahead. You can kind of see like the original stone on the corners of the garage. Whether that's original or they redid it, they've kind of kept that 1960s aesthetic. Most of these houses were built in the mid 1960s. This house over here on the right with the Lexus, they also kind of kept that stone. Whereas these two houses here, they did more of a modern stone facade on the front of the house to make it look the way they wanted to make it look, which is awesome. So, like I said, this is the park. You'll see it again here on the right-hand side. You get a lot of people coming to the park in the afternoons, and then a lot of kids, little kids. It's for a lot of little kids mostly, with the slide being the size of it is and the swings. And then you also have the track that's part of the school technically, but because there's no fence, everybody uses it in the evening time to walk the track or to run the track or run or walk their dogs on that track. So coming up here on the right hand side, we have a house that was just sold in August of this year. This house was listed at $1,149,000. And it sold at $1,115,000. It was pretty well upgraded. They advertised that they had room for RVs on the side, and they do have a gate on the side of the house that's on El Capitan, so that they can put an RV in the backyard. But you know, as you can see, most of these homes still have that like 1960s aesthetic, but you do get some that vary, and they've changed the way they want them to look. Here you have, on this block actually, you have a number of houses that decorate for Halloween. I like to decorate for Halloween as well and for Christmas, but as a whole, the neighborhood, not everybody decorates. It's just a few houses here and there throughout the blocks. So coming up here on Santa Monica Circle, when I turn left on the left, you probably won't be able to see it in the frame. I'll come around and show it again, but this house sold in November of last year, almost December, at the end of the month, and it was listed at $1,139,000, and it sold for $1,360,000, and so that's $221,000 over the asking price of what they were looking for. Like, they do have some good landscaping going on, and you can kind of see the house here. Looks very nice. This one is 1,684 square feet. So even the two-story houses, there are still some of the two stories that are only 1,600. There's only a few of the two stories that are like 2,200 or 1,900. Coming up here on the right-hand side, we have this house that's on El Capitan, and this house was, rotate this around and come around here. This house was listed at $1.2 million, and it sold for $1,185,000. Now, the other house that's on this same block, just a couple doors down, is actually about 250, 300 square feet less, but it sold for $1.6 million. So it was just upgraded a little bit nicer. Maybe the people like the aesthetic more of that house, or it was marketed differently than the other house, but they did get, you know, over $400,000 more for that house, even though it was smaller. So here you have to the right, you have the only house in the neighborhood that has RV parking. There are quite a few houses that have RVs in the neighborhood. People like to go camping and all, and most people either put it in their front yard or side yard or backyard to store their RVs or their boats. And That's kind of the situation in the neighborhood. That's the only house that has an actual RV garage. And so this house here on the right, this white house, this house is the one that was sold for $1.6 million, $105,000 over asking. So that was good for them. And here we have Santa Rosalia Street. So this is one of the 4 exits to, this one exits to Slater. And there's only a few, there's 4 streets that exit out of the neighborhood, and this is one of them, so you do get some extra traffic. This house right here, this 2-story, is listed for sale, and it is listed at $1.3 million. It is active as of October 1st of this year, and it has a 7,200 square foot lot. It is 2,240 square feet. The only downside with this listing is that it does not have a for sale sign up. So I don't think any of the neighbors actually know it's for sale. There is a lockbox on the front of the house, but you know, lots of times people just put lock boxes on their house. That doesn't always necessarily mean the house is for sale. So if you are selling your house, make sure you put a sign up, you know, or the agent puts a sign up for sale so that the neighbors know your house is for sale. You might get some of the neighbors letting their friends know or their family know that they want to live in the neighborhood, or they've been looking for this specific neighborhood. So it's always a good thing to do. So that is it for the houses that have sold in the last year. We'll drive down these last 2 streets so you can kind of see, and like I see here at the end of this street, we got a family playing some tennis or whatever, and on the cul-de-sac, which is one of the nice things about having a cul-de-sac, is you don't have a lot of traffic on the street, so you know, you can feel a little bit safer with your kids playing out in the street because you're not getting that traffic coming by, as opposed to the other street we're just on, where we get the traffic mostly from the schools in the morning and in the evening from parents bringing their kids from the other neighborhoods that are assigned to that school. So if you like this video, please leave a like on the video, and if you would like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out 1 to 2 videos every single week on anything to do with the real estate market in Fountain Valley or Huntington Beach, as I am closely tied with both of these communities. This neighborhood, this house here, straight ahead behind the trees, has a 3rd story. It's the only one that has a 3rd story and that high of a roof line, but those trees kind of hide it, so it doesn't stick out as much as it might if those trees weren't there. But yeah, I live in Fountain Valley, and this housing tract actually borders Huntington Beach. My daughter goes to school in Huntington Beach, so if you have a neighborhood that you would like me to visit and do a drive-through, let me know in the comments, and I would gladly do the research and do a video drive-through. And then this neighborhood is the Fulton neighborhood. If you want to move into this neighborhood, let me know, and I can keep you up to date if anything comes on the market in this neighborhood. So thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time.